Okay, welcome back. We're going to do another review video, this time for our second lesson on order of operations. So this is going to be, and I'll just switch the video so you can see what I am writing on my desk. So this is again in integer operations, cycle 3. This is your blue booklet that everyone has in their binders. I don't have blue paper, there's a blue pen. But this is in your blue booklet. So if you want to pause the video to find your blue booklet, and the page that we're going to work on today at the top says order of operations, but now we're going to add brackets. So brackets, and we see them in math class, we see them in English class. We always have an open bracket, and it comes in a pair, it comes in a group of two with what we call a closed bracket. So we open and close. In brackets, they tell us, hey, we need to do whatever is in the bracket first. So before we do anything else, I need to solve what's in the bracket. So I need to do all the operations in the bracket until there's just one number. So for example, this first question, 3 plus 4 multiplied by 2. Normally, I multiply before add. If I have brackets, I need to do whatever in the brackets first. So I'm going to copy down everything the same, and I'm only going to change what I've underlined in blue. So I have 3 plus 4 equals 7. Now I have one number in the bracket, that's okay. I've got 7 multiplied by 2, which is 14. So I need to reduce the bracket or solve whatever in the brackets first. Let's do a couple more examples. I have divide and subtract. We would normally look at divide first, but I need to do what is in the brackets. So my first step, everything else stays the same. And I'm only going to change or put the answer for one operation, the operation in the bracket. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then I do 12 divided 4, which is 3. So brackets draw our attention. They tell us what to do first. Here's example 3. Again, I need to do what's in the brackets first. So everything else get written down the same. What's 5 take away 7? What's going to go all the way to negative 2? You can use your number line or your calculator. If I'm taking away a bigger number from a smaller number, my answer is going to be negative. Okay, now what happens? I still have two operations. What do we do when I have two numbers next to each other with no operation symbol? That means I have to multiply. Positive 3 times negative 2. Positive times negative is negative. 3 times 2 is 6. Then I still copy down the rest. I still have take away 5. Negative 6, so that's my starting point, and then I take away 5. If you're on a number line, I'm going 5 to the left. Negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10. So my final answer is negative 11. So the reminder here, we always do what's in brackets first. And if I have two numbers next to each other with no operation symbol, that means I have to multiply them together. So that's order of operations when I have brackets. The only other thing we're going to add to our order of operations work is what happens when I have fractions. When I have operations in my numerator, the top, and my denominator, the bottom of a fraction. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat the top and the bottom almost like two different math problems. I'm going to solve both of them. I want to have one number on the top, one number on the bottom. And then remember that fractions just mean divide. If you think about the division symbol, it almost looks like a fraction with one dot in the numerator and one dot in the denominator. So that's one way to remember that if I have a fraction, it just means that I'm dividing the top by the bottom, the numerator by the denominator. So let's work on this. 3 plus 5 Well, that's going to be 8. On the bottom, I have 2 take away 4, which is negative 2. So still be careful with your negatives and your positives. Once I have one number on the top and the bottom, I can divide. 8 divided by negative 2. Positive divide negative is negative. 8 divide 2 is 4. Let's do a couple more examples. Again, we did these in class. So just a little bit more review. I know some of you were absent or away on the last day before the holiday break. On the top, I have 2 numbers next to each other with no symbol. That means I have to multiply. Negative times negative, my answer is going to be positive. 3 times 5 is 15. Negative 2 plus 7, we can use our number line. I have a positive 5. Once I've simplified the numerator and the denominator to just one number, then I can divide. 15 divide 5 is 3. Last one's a little bit more complicated. I've got a fraction, and then I've got this kind of negative or take away 3 at the end. I'm still going to try to do the fraction first. I want to reduce my fraction always to one number, and then I can continue with the problem. So let's do that in a couple steps. 5 plus 1 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And I still have subtract 3. So before I continue with my order of operations, I want to simplify my fractions just to one number. 6 divide 2 is 3. And I still have my minus 3 here on the right. What's 3 take away 3? If I have 3 apples and I give 3 apples away, I have 0 apples. Okay, so if we have a fraction with operations on the top and the bottom, I want to reduce to one number and then divide before I continue with my order of operations problems. So what we did in class, and if you didn't get a chance to finish, or you weren't in class, or you just want to do some extra practice, in your booklet you have 16 problems where you're doing order of operations with brackets and fractions. So remember, we have to do what's in the brackets first. So I need to do 10 minus 3 first, even though usually we don't do subtract until after multiply or divide. Now it's just a normal order of operations problem. Divide or multiply, I go from left to right. 14 divided 7 is 2. I copy down the times 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so we're going to work with brackets. We're going to work with fractions. Remember, treat the top and the bottom almost as separate problems. 4 times 3 is 12. On the top, on the numerator, and the denominator, 48 divided 8 is 6. Once I have one number top and bottom, that's when I have to divide. 12 divided 6 is 2. Okay. The last 2 lines, the last 2 rows in this table, the problems are tricky. So go step by step, go slowly, and I will post the solutions on Google Classroom. So that was our second lesson on the day before the break on order of operations. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment on the video, send me an email, or reach out as well through Google Classroom. Okay, bye for now.